Hey guys, Sylvar here, bringing you a video I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, actually. So since the start of Legion, I've been finding ways to use leatherworking to make money, and probably the best way that I've found has been creating these warhide bindings using only 9 leather per item with rank 3. And then you can send that to a disenchanter, or if you have disenchanting yourself on that character, go ahead and disenchant that item, and you'll turn basically 9 leather into 1 leylight shard, with also the potential of getting a chaos crystal out of it. Much lower chance than you would think, so you don't really have to factor that much into it. But basically, you're turning 9 leather, which typically is selling around 3.5 gold to 5 gold per unit, depending on your server, into something that's 45 to maybe 70 gold for a leylight shard, depending on your server as well. So before 7.2 launched, I actually have been stocking up a ton of leather, as you can see. So I have about 30,000 leather that I'm going to turn into warhide bindings, send it over to my enchanter, disenchant that, and then we'll see how many leylight shards I have and chaos crystals that I get from all of this. I'll even time it to see how long it takes to craft all this and then disenchant it all, and then we'll take a look at my profits from what from this, instead of just selling it on the auction house for the raw leather, and we'll see how much we can make actually from turning this into a crafted item, disenchanting it, and using those disenchanting mats to make a profit. Okay, so I finished crafting all the leather, and during my process I got DC'd once, so the timer right here is not exactly accurate, and I wrote down the time before I got DC'd, and it was about 2 hours and 3 minutes to craft 30,000 Stonehide leather into these warhide bindings. I just want to show a quick add-on real quick that most people might have already, but it helps speed up the process as you're doing something like this. Postal. It's a mailbox add-on. It allows you to do things like click on an item. So if you hold control and left click on an item, it will put all of the items of the same type into the mailbox slot for you, and then you just have to hit left or alt and then left click again on that item, and it will send all the items immediately to the person that you have listed in the to spot. So you can quickly just go through, boom, 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 done. Sent all the mail, and it really helps speed up the process, so you don't have to click on multiple items and really just take your time trying to put everything in. You just click boom, click boom, click boom, send. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my warlock and start disenchanting everything. It'll probably take about 2 hours. It might take a little bit longer than that, actually. So in all, we're looking at 4 maybe to 5 hours total for crafting, disenchanting all of this. Alright, real quick before I actually start disenchanting everything, I just wanted to show off another add-on real quick that's really helpful, other than just Postal. It's called Quick Disenchant, or EasyDisenchant. So when you have it installed, you just type /DE, and it'll bring up this window right here, and it'll list all the items in your bag space, and all you have to do is left click on them, and it'll disenchant it, loot it, left click the next one, keep going, go down the list like that. It's really, really helpful for quickly disenchanting a bunch of stuff and not having to click on disenchant, then go back and click the item in your bag, click on disenchant, blah, blah, blah. One thing to be aware of, though, it will list every item that you have in your bag that's available to be disenchanted. So if you have extra gear that you want to keep and you don't want to get rid of, such as for different specs or anything, make sure you're not clicking on those when you're disenchanting a bunch of stuff. So that's about it. Oh, yeah, if you do that also, if you try and click on one while you're disenchanting another, it will cause problems. All you have to do is close window, type /DE again, brings the window back up, you're good to go. So yep, that's just another helpful add-on for doing things like this where you're going to be disenchanting a lot of things. Okay, 5 hours later, and I have finally finished disenchanting all the leather that was turned into bracers. And here is the results of the enchanting mats that I have now. I have now 3,285 leylight shards, 63 chaos crystals, and I got 126 bloods of sergaras during this disenchant of 3,346 bracers. So I'm going to break down real quick of what this means in terms of gold. So we spent about 105,000 gold to get this leather. That's at about 3.5 gold per unit per stack. And then we took 30,000 of 30,122 leather turned into 3,346 leather bracers, which in turn gave us 3,285 leylight shards, which sell for around 40 to 50 gold per unit per stack, depending on the day of the week. Depending on the supply available on auction house, you can even get more than that, but typically it won't go below 40 gold. In addition to the leylight shards, you can even disenchant the leylight shards into arcana dust, but that really just depends on which one's selling for more on the auction house at the time. You often might get more gold for turning it into dust. The goal isn't to just maybe do what I did with 30,000 leather and then sell it all in one day kind of thing. It's something like, oh, you'll check the auction house and see, oh, there's a bunch of cheap leather up right now. I can just quickly make some, like a couple hundred gold, maybe even a couple thousand gold. And if you do this over time, it'll add up really quickly. We also got 63 chaos crystals, which sell from 95 to 110 gold depending on the time. And then also 126 bloods of sergaras just from disenchanting, which is extra materials basically for free that we got from disenchanting all of this. And they sell, like I said, sell from 125. You can turn them into basically 125 to 145 gold, maybe even more, depending on what is in high demand at this time. And so overall, from selling all these mats that we got, we'll make anywhere between 153,000 to 189,000 and upward amount of gold. And then you subtract the amount for purchasing the leather and stuff, and it'll come out to about 47,000 to 84,000, somewhere in that range over the course of 5 hours, which breaks down into about a little bit less than 10,000 gold per hour, or maybe even closer to 20,000 gold per hour. It just really depends on the auction house prices on your server and how long it actually takes you to acquire all these items and disenchant them. Again, like I said, it's not really something you want to just take a big bulk like I did with 30,000 leather and do it. It's something you want to do just whenever leather's really cheap. So what I did basically was just put up a show on Netflix or put up a stream and just did this and knocked it out in 5 hours. Actually, it was 4 hours and 53 minutes, I think, to be exact, but that's beside the point. Anyway, it's not something you want to just like try and do all in one day, or you're going to drive yourself crazy. It's something you want to do over time when you have the materials available. So it's a decent way of making gold. You're basically taking gold you have and turning it into more gold for free for just sitting there clicking a button. And you can do it while watching a stream. You can do it, I guess, while you're studying or whatever you have in mind at the time. So yeah, overall, it's something that I would recommend doing if you've got the free time, if you have the professions available for it. But I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way just to do this thing every single day. Kind of, you'll drive yourself nuts probably. So yeah, overall, it's a decent way to make gold. I wouldn't rely solely on this if you're trying to make a lot of gold. But yep, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe. We have more WoW content and more other Blizzard games and other things like that. So yep, thanks for watching.